Joining us this morning is Cheri Porter of the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. Morning, Cheri. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you this morning. What a fast summer.
Yes.
You have a busy weekend coming up, and we're going to talk about all those events here in just a moment. But and fall is always crazy busy. But
absolutely,
summer overall it just flew. But there's so much that went on. Kind of recap for us everything that took place.
We started in, March with our Easter runs. Then we did Mother's Day runs in May, along with our school field trips in May. June, we rolled into our regular season where we operate every weekend. We did Father's Day for that. We had July that did Veterans Recognition and stuff like that. We hit August for Oil Fest, where we brought the speeders in that were sold out. So yeah, we have had a fantastic start to our season. So.
Is it, when you look back and you think like the Easter runs, for example, is that just like in the back of your mind? Do you go, okay, I mean, we're going to be into this stuff in no time? I mean, it goes that fast, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And then, when you're running as much as you are over the summer, boy, you see a lot of people.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
And you think, well, it's just summer. It's going to get even crazier in the fall.
Exactly.
But hey, listen, you end August and head into Labor Day with a big schedule. What's going on this weekend?
So tonight is our sold-out Taps on Tracks with Fat Chad as the brewery. Tomorrow morning we have our regular Saturday run, for which there are still tickets available. Tomorrow evening is our sold-out murder mystery dinner that, in all seriousness, group comes down from Erie and does the performance, and Stewart's Premier Catering here in Titusville is the caterer for that. And then Sunday morning we have another regular ride, and there are again seats available for that, so they can walk up tickets then.
That's fantastic. Starting tonight, Taps on Tracks. This is something that's been newer to the schedule over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But really getting a nice following.
Yes. Yep. So we have watched it grow each year. So, I mean, that's a nice thing. So we don't do too many of these throughout the season, simply because it's hard for the breweries to, they've got other big events throughout the summer. So one works at this point.
Yeah.
So if we get to the point where we need to add a second one, we'll talk about it. But right now we're good with one.
But it's a really cool experience, isn't it?
Yes.
And for both the passengers taking part and in this case the breweries, but we'll talk about the wineries who come. Just that opportunity, I'm sure if for somebody who hasn't done it before, when they get that call and it's like, you want us to pour on a train? Yeah, that'd be really awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Chad, I believe, was the second one that we brought in. The first year, I think I wasn't in control of it that year, so I want to say maybe that was Orr's originally. Then I think Chad stepped in and did the second year. Last year we had a group out of Mercer County, Big Rail Brewing from down there, and then Chad stepped back in and doing this year. So
very nice. We
try to keep it local, just like we do with the wineries, and make sure that it's small town places that are gonna enjoy it and have fun with it, and it gives them a little more name recognition as well.
Sure.
So.
How challenging is it? Do you ever take a sneak peek to see how they're pouring when the...
Oh, yeah. I used to be out in the open car while they were doing that. So, yes, it's entertaining. Yes, absolutely. So I will say it's one of those tasks that is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. The other thing you mentioned, tomorrow night, the murder mystery dinner. These things sell out like crazy, and they're so much fun. Talk a little bit about those.
So with those, passengers will come in. They will check in at the station. We send them back to get their dinner provided by Stewart's Catering. Excuse me. While they're eating the first portion of their meal, the actors come in, start their performance. They then transfer out to the train, get the middle portion of the performance on the trip down and back. Then we bring them back into the station for closing act of the performance and dessert, and they get to vote on who done it and go from there. So
it's very exciting. If you've never done it, you got to do it. Yes. And it's probably one of those things where if you do it, you're probably going to want to come back and do it again.
We have people that are repeat customers. As soon as the schedule goes out in the spring, they will call and say, I want, multiple sets of tickets for different events and stuff like that. So
now you mentioned tonight and tomorrow night are both sold out?
Yes.
Okay. There's another one in the fall?
There are 4 more.
4, okay.
Murder mysteries coming up in September. I can tell you that right at the moment they are all sold out, but we do have waitlist capacity. So if it's something you think you want to add to the fall agenda, give us a call. We'll put you on the wait list. If we have cancellations, we'll try and get you in there. So,
and that's why we talk about this all the time. But December, January rolls around, that schedule gets released, and you're getting phone calls, booking these things already. So I mean, these things are very popular.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, let's get into we get through Labor Day weekend, and fall sounds like it's going to be in September and October going to be really busy.
Yes. So as of right now, we do not have a single first class ticket left for October. They were actually sold out before we hit the 15th of July. So for those of you that think we're joking when we say that, first class in October goes fast, we're not kidding. We had one cancellation, and it was funny because JC was actually on the phone finishing the cancellation, and I had somebody call in at the same time. So it never even hit the system that there was a cancellation because I resold those tickets before she had finished canceling them. So they don't last long. But yeah, right now we are filling up very quickly. The 2 Saturdays right now in October, both runs are getting close to capacity. So yeah.
Now, when you say there's a wait list, if somebody is interested in going to whether it's the mystery or fall foliage run or whatever it is, should they call and just say, "Hey, I know you're sold out, but can you put me down?"
We will do wait lists for special event items.
Okay.
So Taps on Tracks, the murder mysteries, the wine trains, that type of thing. The regular runs, we do not do wait lists for those, but usually the process is if we have a cancellation, JC puts it out on our Facebook page. So, okay. I mean, it's instant notification that there's availability there, and we fill it that way. So if that's something that you're looking for, pay close attention to that page, and you may be able to score those tickets.
So really, they need to like you on Facebook.
Absolutely.
And build those likes on Facebook. The other thing that's really exciting, we were talking before coming on, just the amount of riders that come through every year, the visitors that come through. Yeah, there's local people, but there's also people from outside that come and visit. And sort of a countdown to that 1 millionth rider, which is very exciting.
Yes. So we're hoping. We hit 850,000 this year, so hopefully we will see 1 million before we, within the next 6 years, I'd like to think at least.
Yeah,
so.
That's great. It's exciting, and just let you know too that a lot of people really enjoy the ride through the valley that changed the world. So
yes.
that's exciting, and you get people from that are maybe visiting for family reunions, class reunions.
Absolutely.
Just coming up to visit, just driving through. And it's great when they say, we didn't really budget the amount of time we should have. Like, there's so much to do here. We didn't realize how much there is to explore.
Exactly.
And then they come back.
Yes.
And they spend more time, or they bring their entire families. So
yes.
It's wonderful.
It is. So.
Not only that, while you're waiting to board the train, you have an excellent gift shop.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what folks can find there.
We try to keep the supply of stuff in there kind of a little bit ever-changing. So you'll find your typical stuff, T-shirts, hoodies, different types of cups and travel mugs that are there. We also have stuff for the kids. We've got the little slap bracelets. We've got train pencils. We've got pens with little beads on them that are shaped like trains, and all sorts of things like that. But you'll also find a lot of items that we have that are brought in on consignment. We have a gentleman that is selling local honey in there. We have this year added maple syrup vendor. We have individuals that do needlework. We have individuals that do woodworking, some that do photography and stuff like that. So there's always a variety of stuff that's there and available in the station. So. And
if maybe you aren't riding the train that day, but want to stop in and purchase something, you can do that as well.
Absolutely. The station is open any day that the train runs. So typically our hours are 9 to 3. 3 is not a hard cutoff. If there's people still milling around looking, we're not going to, lock them up and, leave them in there or anything. But yeah, so typically any day that the station is, or the train is running, the station is open for those purchases and stuff like that. So if, like you said, if you're not wanting to ride the train, but you're looking for train related gift items for birthdays or Christmas or whatever, there's all sorts of stuff there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we got a new train that the girls have been just chomping at the bit to get out. So it's a remote controlled train that is for sale in the gift shop. So you'll have to stop and check that out. So.
Okay.
I haven't even seen it out of the box yet. I got the picture in the magazine, and that was.
Wow.
So.
Well, and there's cups and shirts and hats and all sorts of cool things that you can get.
We've got a bunch of the little golden books that have train-related stories, and a bunch of other kids' books and stuff like that. We also have books for the adults. Some of the Arcadia ones that deal with the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad, the history and architecture of the houses here in Titusville and the surrounding area and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Odds are you could probably find something for somebody, regardless of whether it was train related or not. So yeah.
So here's a little nugget I learned: you don't get your volunteers by trapping those shoppers in after hours. So you don't lock the door on them, and then they become volunteers.
Exactly.
Okay.
No.
Is it in the back of your mind? Are you kind of thinking of things already for next year? Are you looking for volunteers?
Absolutely.
Okay. I
am always looking for volunteers. So I have a really great core group of volunteers, but I am always looking to add to and expand those. I always say that I don't want their volunteer project to feel like it's a full-time job. So the more volunteers I have, the more we can spread things out so they don't feel like they have to be here every day. Now, if I've got somebody that wants to be here every day, I'm not going to tell them they can't be. But by the same token, I don't want it to feel like it's an obligation that they grow to not enjoy. It's supposed to be fun, and that's what I want it to maintain.
So could somebody call you and say, hey, listen, I have like one day a month or, a couple days, whatever it is, and kind of give you what they're able to do? And then,
absolutely. Yes.
Excellent.
Yep. We're willing to work with anybody. Excuse me.
All right. Well, that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
I think so.
Okay. See, there you go. You get to work with Cheri and everybody. And
I won't say that we're, normal, but yeah, we have a lot of fun.
That's great. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel. Cheri Porter with us here from the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. You guys, it's just... I was sitting here earlier thinking, my gosh, we started the week. Crawford Gives was going on. You took part in that. Money raised there is going to help, I think, with Heritage School Tours.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
Yes,
do you have school tours in the fall as well?
We do.
Okay.
Yep. They can do school tours in May or October, either one. So, yeah, that will go towards some of those costs and stuff like that. So.
Our friends from Drakewell will say sometimes that's maybe the only time somebody goes through like the museum is during the school tours.
Yeah.
And when they come back as adults, they go, boy, I should have come back sooner. Do you get maybe similar conversations where maybe somebody comes up to you and says, boy, I haven't been on the train since fourth grade or when I was in elementary school.
Absolutely.
I should have visited sooner.
Yep. We do on a regular basis. I haven't been here since I was a kid in school, and this was our field trip. I really wish, I had come back, or I wish I'd been older when we did that field trip so that I could have, appreciated it more and that type of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of flicking your friend's ear and not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I'll tell you, it's wonderful. And the reaction from those maybe visiting from out of town, there's great write-ups from people that get posted throughout the state or in other states about the ride itself and how awesome it is. What are those conversations like that you've had with folks?
They are really great because they are kind of the eyes that we don't always get to see, because our season runs very parallel to all the other tourist trains in the area. And so it's hard for us to go out sometimes and see how they're doing things to know how we compare. So our customers' eyes are kind of ours when they give us those, recommendations and reviews and things like that to tell us what we're doing well and what we, did a phenomenal job with, or what we need to improve and stuff like that. So
do you ever get like somebody might say the ride itself was just beautiful, I didn't realize there's this historical part to it, or boy, I was here for the history but I didn't realize how beautiful the ride was?
Yeah. So, and we also get the other ones that are like, we rode the train and all we saw were rocks, trees, and water. Well, you're in a state park. What do you think you're going to see? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but yeah, that's kind of what most of these state parks are. So, so we get the gamut of comments and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, a lot of times people are saying, boy, like summer flu, life is going too fast.
Yeah.
Well, here's a chance to maybe just slow up, put your phone away. Well,
Yep.
I'm sure people want to take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yes.
just really sit back and enjoy
Yep.
an afternoon, an evening, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and have a good time.
Exactly. And it's funny the amount of kids that start out and they're like, I have no internet, and they can't play with their phone. And then before long, you're like, well, why don't you try the open car? And they're like, the open car? And so they get up to go investigate, and you find them just out there completely enthralled by, everything around them. And so it's nice to see that it gives people the opportunity to do just that and unplug from everything. So it's...
So special features, open car. How about mailing something from the train?
Absolutely, the railway post office car. So only one that is operational in the continental United States that we are aware of. So you can come in, you can purchase a postcard from us either in the station or on board the train. For that matter, you can bring your own mail. It doesn't matter. We charge postage to mail that out. But when it comes back to you, and I should have grabbed one of the postcards, but I didn't think about it, so we'll work on that for the next one. But anyway, it comes back with a cancellation stamp that says OC&T Railroad. And so it not only is unique that it was mailed from the train, but it has that vintage hand-canceled stamp on it as well. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. Also, summer's busy with kayaks and bicycles. Talk about that aspect, too, because that's something that probably could have been ignored altogether, but it's just a really nice feature to have.
It is. So we can transport bikes and kayaks or canoes. We've had several canoes this year.
Wow.
That we can do. Pick them up at Petroleum Center and bring them back up to Drake Well, or they can get on board. As far as the bikes, they can get on board at Perry Street or Drake Well. We will take them down to Petroleum Center and offload them there, and then bring them back up to, or they can pedal back up to Drake Well or Perry Street. But yes, so we've had several groups that have done that. I think our largest group this summer was a group of 22 that were out kayaking and canoeing. So
now, should they call ahead for that?
we recommend that they do. We also recommend that if they are doing boating, it's not so critical with the bicycles, but we do recommend if they are boating to check with Oil Creek State Park and see what the water levels are so that they can gauge whether they're going to be doing more paddling or portaging. So we've had a couple of groups that decided they were going to ride, and they ran into problems because the water level was so low. So we do encourage them to check with Oil Creek State Park before they schedule those. They don't have to, as long as they are on the platform at Petroleum Center with the flag dropped. We can, pick them up without prior notice. We can sell them tickets right there on the train and things like that. So,
good information. You get through October, and things just don't end. You got a lot of fun holiday type of events to wrap up the year.
Absolutely. So we will go into our Halloween one at the end of October. So we do.
Is Frankenstein going to be there?
I don't know. So we will do the kids run in the morning at 11 a.m. on, the 26th of October, I think? Yes. So we'll do the kids friendly run in the morning, and then we will have the murder mystery that evening. And the passengers for the murder mystery are encouraged to dress up and that type of thing too. So yes, It will be lively, and then we will have a little bit of a break to the end of November. Right after Thanksgiving, we'll start our Christmas runs. We'll actually do 4 of them this year.
Wow.
Typically, we have only done 3, but we had enough demand that we're going to try a 4th run and see how that goes. So.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Now, the murder mystery for the Halloween event, is that sold out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that the one that goes first? Like, or... I don't know, it just seems like that one sells out like almost immediately. I don't know if it's just because it's that
varies.
time of year.
Yeah, it varies.
Okay.
Some years it does. Now, like this year, it did not, and we were kind of surprised by that. Usually, the first one in May and that October one usually run, pretty close. But May walked away with the win this year because it was sold out really early. October, I don't know if people just weren't ready to think about October yet. I don't know, but yeah. So it was actually one of the last ones to sell out this year.
When do you have time to plan for the next year? Or are you a year plus out that you're kind of looking at things?
The 2025 calendar's on the wall in my office.
Oh,
so,
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, there's events already on that calendar. So, yep, we're good.
Okay. That's crazy. That's great.
So I will typically present the schedule for 2025. I would like to think possibly our September board meeting, at the latest our November, and have it voted on and ready to release. So, yeah.
There's got to be a lot of fun energy at the board meetings, a lot of excitement for the future and what's going on, because it's wonderful. Yeah. If you haven't had a chance, again, stop in, take a look around. You can just walk around when you're open down there, and if there's questions or if you want to look at tickets, can they maybe look at a calendar down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and if folks have questions, want more information, Cheri, how do they find you?
So they can like us on Facebook. They can give us a call at the office. The phone number is 814-676-1733. Or they can check out the website at www.octrr.org.
Like them on Facebook and get the updates there. Yeah. Real quick, if something opens up, it can get posted there. So lots of great events. And, of course, Labor Day weekend, as you mentioned, is going to be this is a big weekend. Real quick, tonight and tomorrow night?
Yes. So tonight's Taps on Tracks with Fat Chad's is the brewery. Tomorrow morning, our regular run with walk-up seats available. Saturday night is our Murder Mystery, which again is a sold-out event with Stewart's Premier Catering and In All Seriousness out of Erie. And Sunday morning, we have our regular run, again with walk-up tickets available. So
busy weekend.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Absolutely.
Sunday night, you'll be like, woo!
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Cheri.
Thank you.